1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Soundhi Thabam. The President and the Prime Minister advised relevant sectors to expedite the construction work of projects which were halted midway. The Fisheries Minister assures to look into the cause of the deaths of 4 Indian fishermen. The Central Bank notifies the public to be vigilant of online money scams. Target to earn an income of 100 billion rupees from the export of spices by the year 2025. Special attention will be focused to order COVID vaccines that could be used for all people. In world news, the EU to keep internal borders open but curb travel. The President and the Prime Minister advised relevant sectors to expedite the construction work of projects which are halted midway. The President has appointed the Secretary of the Urban Development and Housing Development Ministry, Sirinimal Pereira, to expedite the completion of these projects. The construction field was set back during the last government period owing to the halting of construction work of housing projects midway by some contractors. Therefore, the people who paid money for houses had to face many difficulties due to this. Minister of Fisheries Douglas Devananda has promised to look into the cause of the deaths of Indian fishermen whose bodies were recovered in the Northern Sea. The bodies of 4 fishermen who were reported as missing have been recovered, escalating protests of Indian fisherfolk in Rameshwaram. Issuing a statement of condolence, the minister highlighted the importance of identifying the cause of death in order to prevent such untoward incidents happening in the future. He has requested Indian fishermen to act with caution since emotional decisions might jeopardize the situation further. Minister Devananda has also listed the efforts made by his ministry to find a permanent solution to the problem of Indian fishermen encroaching into Sri Lankan waters. He has promised his full determination to initiate further action to solve the issue amicably. The Additional Director General of the Export Agricultural Department, J.L.K. Veeralal, says that the government has paid special attention on the promotion of the spices sector. Special attention has also been focused by the policy statement of the Saubhagya Dakma program of the President in this field. He also pointed out that 73 billion rupees of foreign exchange earned through the export of spices last year when compared to 2019. He told the Subarathi program of the SLBC that the target is to increase the income up to 100 billion rupees by the year 2025. The Government Medical Officers Association says that priority measures should be taken to order the COVID eradication vaccine. The association has also pointed out announcement of the technical decision on ordering the vaccines needed for the country by the Independent Committee of the Health Ministry. The association further stated that the vaccine should be approved by the World Health Organization and should be of high standard. Meanwhile, Secretary to the State Ministry on COVID Disease Control Affairs, Specialist Dr. Harsha De Silva, told the SLBC that special attention should be focused on vaccines that could be used for all people in the country. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
Several flights carrying tourists are to arrive at the Katunayake and Mattala airports today. The chairman of the Tourism Development Authority, Kimali Fernandes, said that a 24-hour operational centre has been set up to provide solutions after reviewing the situation with the opening of the country for tourists. All hotel facilities will be provided for the tourists who are arriving in the country. She also stated that opportunities will be made for them to visit 16 identified places. An insurance scheme will also be implemented for the tourists. The number of COVID-infected persons has risen to 56,075. Out of this, 47,983 persons have recovered. However, 7,816 patients are receiving treatment in hospitals. The National Operations Centre to prevent the spread of COVID-19 says that 887 new cases have been identified this morning. Accordingly, 337 patients are reported from the Colombo district, 136 from the Gampaha district, and 71 from the Kalutara district have been reported. 2 more COVID deaths were reported from the country this morning. Therefore, the death toll has increased to 276. It is reported that 16,108 PCR tests were conducted yesterday. That's local news.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddha Lepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddha Lepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has received information regarding several types of financial frauds and scams being operated through social media, internet-based applications and mobile payment applications. Most of these scams are conducted through the web or mobile app-based easy loan schemes that attract the public. During such loan application evaluation process, the fraudsters entice the public to share confidential personal customer information and data. The public is strongly advised to exercise due diligence and care to avoid becoming victims of the scams operating in the guise of money lending businesses. And came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddha Lepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board says that a 24-hour water cut will be imposed in several areas in Colombo starting from 9 a.m. tomorrow due to the shifting of raw water transmission pipeline to the Ambatale water treatment plant for SLLRDC flood control canal construction. Accordingly, the water supply will be interrupted from 9 a.m. tomorrow to 9 a.m. on Sunday in Colombo 1 to 3 and Colombo 7 to 12. And came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, the EU to keep internal borders open but curb travel. Africa's long wait for the COVID-19 vaccine. The US President signs 10 executive orders as part of wartime COVID plan. European Union leaders have agreed to keep borders open despite the spread of new variants of the coronavirus. But they've also confirmed that non-essential travel within the bloc should be strongly discouraged. The leaders held a video summit yesterday. They agreed that member countries should not close their borders to ensure the functioning of the single market, including the flow of goods and travel by people such as medical workers. They also confirmed that non-essential travel should be limited to prevent the spread of infections that could lead to border closures. Africa will have to wait for weeks, if not months, before receiving COVID-19 vaccines approved by the World Health Organization, according to various officials working towards getting doses for the continent. Close to 900 million doses have been secured so far through various initiatives, enough to inoculate about 30% of the continent's 1.3 billion people this year. Hoarding by wealthy nations, funding shortfalls, regulations and cold chain requirements have slowed the process of rolling out the vaccines. President Joe Biden has signed a raft of executive orders to boost the fight against COVID-19, which has ravaged the U.S. Vaccinations will be accelerated and testing increased. Emergency legislation will be used to increase production of essentials like masks. Announcing the 10 measures, Mr. Biden said it would take months to defeat the pandemic, but America would get through this if the people stood together. The move comes a day after Mr. Biden was sworn in as the 46th president. Back to the headlines of this bulletin of world news. The EU to keep internal borders open but curb travel. Africa's long wait for the COVID-19 vaccine. And the US president signs 10 executive orders as part of wartime COVID plan. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Moving on to development news. State Ministry of Rural and School Sports Infrastructure Promotion says that development activities in 12 sports schools are to commence this year in the island. This program will be implemented under the second stage of the infrastructure development activities in sports schools. The workforce of the Army, the Navy and the Air Force will be obtained for the construction work of these projects in the sports schools. The ministry has allocated 250 million rupees for this, and that came to you in development news. On to sports. The first day of the second test match between England and Sri Lanka is being played in the Galle International Playgrounds. Batting first, Sri Lanka scored 76 runs for 2 wickets when the match was halted for lunch. That's sports news, and moving on to business news. Plantation Minister Ramesh Pathirana says that it is hoped to earn an income of $1,000 million in the year 2025 through the value-added products of export agricultural crop sector. He made these comments participating at a function to provide plots of lands to 13 entrepreneurs to construct factories in the Alpitia area. That came to you in business news. We look at economic news next.
Economic News, courtesy of...
Business deals now easy. It just takes a few taps only. Anytime, get it done, all connected. Best discounts with real time. LOLC Real Time. Now download LOLC Finance Real Time app for your LOLC savings account. Attractive interest rates, transactions anytime, anywhere with a zero cost and more benefits.
The Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said 35 international airlines have expressed interest in resuming operations to Sri Lanka with the reopening of the main international airports yesterday. All the international airports, including the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Airport in Mattala and the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake, yesterday resumed international flight operations after a 10-month closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That's economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down. Everything is sorted. Why? I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
On to the weather report to conclude. The Met Department says a few showers will occur in the eastern and Uva provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Kalutara, Galle and Matara districts after 2 p.m. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The President and the Prime Minister advised the relevant sectors to expedite the construction work of projects which were halted midway. The Fisheries Minister assures to look into the cause of the deaths of 4 Indian fishermen. The Central Bank notifies the public to be vigilant of online money scams. Target to earn an income of 100 billion rupees from the export of spices by the year 2025. Special attention will be focused to order COVID vaccines that could be used for all people. And the EU to keep internal borders open but curb travel. That concludes this afternoon's news broadcast.